Disappointed we didn't get the outcome we wanted. Offensively, we did not perform very well, did not do the things we need to do. Got to get them in a better position to do things, get them coached better. What to do, had some opportunities to make a few plays, just were not in sync, could not get things going in a rhythm, run, pass, got a few here and there, had some moves, and then at the end got a plays and had a chance to get back in it, but had some opportunities we just got to clean up and do a better job on, got to coach them better, and that's on us and as coaches and what we're trying to do, and put them guys in a better position. They're playing hard and physical, and it was a very physical game. We knew going in it was going to be that way. They could rush, and they did a good job of rushing, did a good job playing the run. We couldn't get the run established enough to keep some balance, but we'll get better at it and move on. Defensively, and a good job, created a couple turnovers, one to give us points. They ran the ball pretty well, didn't set edges like I said after the game. Was watching, we're in good shape inside, didn't set the edge the right way, and then they got outside and we got that fixed and did a pretty good job of managing the game and the rest of that part defensively, created turnovers, played. It was a very physical game. And what they did, and they come out with one more play than we did. And kicking game, they got some field position. We didn't kick it as well as we normally do. In the punting game, not quite as well as we normally do. And they got some field position and won that battle a little bit. And we couldn't get it flipped back over. And one-score game, that's a big deal. But we had some opportunities and had some things we could have got, and we just didn't get them done. So we'll get ready and play UMass this week and get ready to roll. Questions?
Down front, Brett.
You said after the game y'all went up tempo 70 to 80% of the time. I figure you have a very exact definition of what tempo is, so I was just asking.
Getting the calls and one-word calls and all those types of things, getting the calls and getting in position and going. I mean, they're all one-word calls, one word and things and going. There was a bunch of those and a bunch of also running to the line, getting the call and going. We were trying to push the tempo as much as we could.
Then I guess what you said was if you're not getting first downs, it just doesn't work then.
No, anything does. I mean, if you can get more and more and more of them together, and we just got some 3 and outs, and you're not getting where you want to get. Third down, sometimes you had to. There wasn't a time to tempo on third down. You're trying to get the right call and what you're trying to do. Sometimes we had about 3 or 4 calls on tempo, and then the rest of them we didn't when you get to third down. But if you get in a groove, then you can just keep calling your tempos, and you get a drive going. We didn't get many drives going.
Moose had posted that he was benched because he kept the sleeves on. I'm just getting your response.
That was an internal issue in which we handled, and we've addressed it, and we've all talked and moving on.
Down front to the left, Zach, and then to the right, Olin.
Jimbo, from your perspective, what is perhaps one thing that this team has really gotten better at throughout this season? What's something that they've improved on throughout this season?
I think their resilience and what they do and how they compete. I think at times we've starting to create more turnovers. At times we have to do offensively. There for about 3 weeks. We started very well. I thought we'd come out the last 2 or 3 games and started really well on offense. That's why I felt good going into that one. And we just didn't get out the gates very well on the first drives of that deal. We had got a quick penalty right there, and we had a third down, which we had, and I thought they interfered with us down there. We didn't get a protection on it wasn't a lineman. Didn't fit up on the blitz, and then we had a one-on-one I thought we were going to get for a touchdown, and I thought we had an interference. But we had been starting games very much quickly on offense the last 3 or 4 games, 2 or 3 games, and getting drives and getting into the flow of it. And they're working hard, they're practicing hard. We just got to do it with more consistency.
Second row,
And defensively, too. I mean, I think last we started fitting the runs better, got some guys back healthy, and I thought we tackled better in space. For a while there, we were not tackling in space very well and doing some things, and I think we're doing a much better job of that right now.
Go ahead, Olin.
Jimbo, coaches often talk about the culture of a football team, and if they're new, they have to change the culture and things like that. With some of the issues that we've had here,
Just keep the standard, and when they're addressed, and when the standard's not what we do, we just address it and move on. And we're always going to address it. We're going to keep that way we're going to do things, and then we'll go, and then it'll get back in gear to where it needs to be.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you because of those issues also. There are, and what's going on what might be going on in recruiting right now. There's those that follow this program that are worried about whether or not it's in disarray and what's the long-term outlook for this program.
It's not in disarray. We've got very good players here. We've got good guys. We'll keep coaching good young players. Recruiting, we're in good shape in recruiting and what we're doing. And there's, like I say, there's other ways in recruiting, like signing a full class. There's other ways with portals and different things. You address things now. But we're not in disarray in recruiting. We're not in disarray on our team. Our guys are playing their tails off, playing hard. Got to continue to help them play better, and got a great attitude and with demeanor. I think it looks very good.
Second row, David.
Jimbo, were there signs early on that the season could kind of tailspin the way it has that you
No,
saw?
I mean, you got young players in some situations you had to fill in and had some key injuries at different points in time. It just didn't time together, and but that's no excuse. You got to have it, and you're always fighting for inches. And like I say, when you're successful in this league or any league, it's much closer than when you have success. The how close you are to not having the season you want is very close, and when you don't have success, having a good season is not as far away as you really look at it. I mean, we just haven't gotten over the hump on the place, but it's always it's a young group of players with a mix of older guys that we just haven't found that perfect mix yet.
Front right, Cole.
Jimbo, just a quick injury update on several guys. Mac Johnson.
I'm not going to
Max
get into a
Wright.
lot of where they're at. They'll all be day to day.
And then when you're looking at the transfer portal, especially with guys who are wanting immediate results, how do you continue to sell that this is just part of the process and that there's better results on the horizon for younger players?
You're going to make a difference. Guys want to make a difference. Guys see that all the time. And that's not always saying we're going that way. I mean, we're recruiting tons of high school kids. I mean, but I said there's different ways of things. And like I said, this was not going to be a huge class anyway, I don't think. But we'll look and see where we go from here. Got a lot of really good young players still.
Go back behind the lights to the left, Tyler.
Jimbo, finishing the season, past couple of these next two games at Kyle Field, Senior Day this Saturday. Just what do you want to see from your team against UMass?
A lot of heart and a lot of guts, and play hard and play well. And that's exactly what I think they'll do. They've been great spirits yesterday. I'm in meeting, talked to, like we have our unit council groups and meetings, and the players are all where they need to be in their stretch and stride groups and their treatments and all the things, and had a very good demeanor, very good attitude, worked out well in the weight room, all doing what they're supposed to do, and this team keeps doing what it's supposed to do. And they'll keep doing that and play well, and we want to play well for those seniors as last two games.
And collectively, have you guys talked? Without making the bowl game, do you feel like you guys know what you're playing for and kind of what the mindset
Playing for
is?
Playing for each other in Texas A&M. You got Texas A&M on your jersey, and you play for your teammates, and you play for yourself because you're sending a message of who you are and what you are.
Down front, Travis.
With a potential 9-game schedule maybe in the horizon when the two new teams come in, do you like having this non-conference game at the end of the year, or would the extra conference game?
Well, I don't know how that'll
react.
react. That'll be interesting with the 9 conference games where it goes. I mean, it's not a bad thing, it sounds, but I mean sometimes you can get them all over. I've done it both ways, so I've learned on schedules, whatever they are. Go play the games and don't worry about it. I mean, it's not that big a deal when you really get down to it. But how it would affect the 9-game conference schedule, I don't know. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. So however they make it, we need to go show up and play well wherever we're at.
With how this season turned out, is having a non-conference game right here a good time to reset?
Any game's a good time to reset. It's not say a reset. This is a game. They cause a lot of problems. Don Brown on defense has been. I've coached him. He was matter of fact, he was Steve's coordinator at Boston College. Is really good. He was at Maryland with Ralph Friedgen. He was at Michigan. We played him in the Orange. He was the coordinator at Michigan in the Orange Bowl, and I played him in the Orange Bowl. He is a pain to go against. I mean, a lot of different fronts, blitzes, stems, and things. And offensively, they do the same thing. So they're a very tough team to prepare for, and we need to prepare very well.
To the left, Cease.
So will Muhammad be available this weekend?
Yes.
And what about the 4 freshmen that were suspended before? Will they be available this week?
No.
And what can you do to possibly offset not having 15 bowl practices? I know it's something you probably haven't done.
Your workouts and your training, and those kids do a lot on their own. They can still lift and train and do the things they got, and where will you go?
Front right, Cole, and then Brent.
Jimbo, it's not to say that, going up against a team like UMass is definitely going to have its troubles, but for Connor to be able to go up against a non-conference game, do you think this benefits him?
Listen, these guys cause you all kinds of problems on defense. It'll be extremely challenging for him. I mean, in what they do because of how they blitz and the fronts they do and the scheme in which it does. They're a very challenging team, so it's going to be just like he's in a conference game and playing anybody else in America.
Down front, Brent.
General question, but the open transfers now, do you consider that good, bad, indifferent for college football moving forward?
It doesn't matter what we think it is. The rules are what they are. So we adjust to them to what they do. I mean, it can be good or it can be bad. It can be anything. I mean, but yeah, whatever the rules are for one, they got to be for everybody.
That's my next one for you, because A&M has been on the low end of that in the past couple of years with the idea of developing young guys and players. Is that something you'll be looking more into in the offseason?
Well, we'll see. But like I said, I've said this 10 times. I've said it, and I don't mean it this way. Transfer portal now, when a guy gets in the portal and knows where he's going, if they stay in the portal a while, you can recruit guys. If they're in the portal for one day, how do you get to recruit them, and how do you know they're going in? So to know that, you'd have to be doing what? Tampering. So we're not going to do that. So we're not going to do that. We ain't ever going to do that. So if guys are in the portal, yeah, you look at, I mean, you look at every guy, every high school kid out there, and you look at everybody that's in the portal. If they can help your team, yeah. I mean, that's a true thing. But guys don't stay in the portal a long, long time. Doesn't seem to be.
Okay, so I got to follow that up then. How do you combat that if there's tampering going on?
I don't know. That's not for me. That's for the NCAA.
Down front left, Zach.
I'm not saying there is, but I just say when they're in the portal for a while and you can get them on a visit, that's great. If they already know where they're going, that can be a problem.
Zach.
With the struggles that Connor had at times against Auburn and really all across the program, guys that might have been struggling throughout the season, how do you instill that confidence in them, especially with these
Show
last
them what
two
to
games?
do and know what to do and coach them up, and they see exactly what to do and go practice it. And confidence comes with success and hard work, and you grind through it just like anything and anything you do. You got to keep grinding and grinding and grinding, and I think Connor's confidence is very good, though. I really do.
Down front, Travis.
Do you expect Devon A-Chain to play the rest of the season?
Well, yes.
Okay.
We'll go back behind the lights to the right. Ben.
Coach, I know obviously not ideal for any offense when off schedule or off script when the script isn't working, but it seems like y'all have had, especially this last game, particularly tough times kind of getting out of some of these funks offensively. What would you attribute that to?
We're not, execution, and we maybe call better plays, get execution better, and when plays, and sometimes we'll miss a play. It's been a little bit of everything. Whether we drop a ball, we've gotten going, drop one, we miss one, miss a block, try to make a better call. I mean, just trying to do everything. I mean, you search for everything, and once you're in that thing, it can be one here, one here, one here, one here, and it just creates rhythm. And offense is completely about rhythm, and it's what you got to get to in execution. We've got to coach them better and put them in those better positions and help them to execute the things they got.
Does that make it any more challenging that it's not just one thing?
Yeah, it always is. Yes, I mean, and like I say, that can be from pressing. That can be from a lot of different reasons. I mean, and because guys want success too. I mean, they want to play well. They're not trying to do it wrong or anything like that. And we're not trying to not get them in the right position. I mean, you just gotta find that medium and sometimes not overthink things, even calling it or even playing it. I mean, you just gotta trust what's there and go back to the basics. I always say basics always get you back to where you got to go to, fundamentals.
Jalen Preston came in and talked to us. What has he meant to the wide receiving core?
Very physical guy, very athletic guy, very good team, great player. He's had some great moments in time when he's here and love him to death and works very hard. And he's a really good teammate and a very athletic guy.
Coach, I asked you before, Jimbo, about the lack of senior scholarship players. You haven't had any. As the injuries have mounted up and suspensions, whatever, have you seen that hurt more that you don't have a lot of seniors this year?
Anytime you don't have a lot of seniors, it does hurt. I'm going to say that. And I don't know if you ever have tons of seniors anymore. I hope so. Hope you can start keeping guys around and doing things in which it goes. But anytime you have older players and older people and they've been around and done it more and been in it more and been in the battles, been in the cycle of whatever it's, like I say, the older I get, the smarter my parents get. I found that out. The things they told me when I was young and I didn't believe and I thought they were crazy and I'm going to do it my way. And, like every kid in America, the older I get, the smarter they get. When it's just like I think the older players get, they see the smarter coaches get and how to do things and the way to do things and how to do things. I think that's always a plus. I trust you that. So you always love to have seniors.
Down front right, Travis.
Do you have a policy on arm sleeves and when they can't be worn?
Yes, we've already discussed all that. We put that to bed.
Well,
Yes.
is
Yes.
the-
Yes.
All right. Cole, you wrap us up.
Jimbo, just to kind of look at a program like TCU, they lost a surplus of talented players via the transfer portal
I
because
have
of a
no
new coach. Just the fact of you can see how success can immediately be brought in. Does that play a factor into when it comes to selling that to recruits that, hey, you need to stay here? Or,
Yeah, I
hey,
guess it can. I mean, teams, there's a lot of teams that live on the portal, I think, or I say live on the portal, or use a big part of it. Yeah, again. So obviously, if that's what they did, I didn't know they did that. I know they had a couple guys leave. I remember early.
Right. No, I'm saying for them to leave, to convince them to stay.
Oh yeah, guys that want to stay. And listen, and when guys want, you think grass is not greener, and people have pride too. Players have pride that they want to do it right and stay here and see it through. And I think we cut. I'll say sometimes like and I'm saying you're insinuating, but we cut players. We don't give them enough credit too. Those guys have pride. They don't just because you're not winning all of a sudden. They always want some guys do, but other people know. I want to stay here and prove it right, and I want to win. I want to build this successful. I was part of this. I want to be the. I mean, I think we sell guys short in that regard too sometimes in players. I mean, not everybody wants to go run and jump and do that. Some guys do. Some guys don't. I mean, that's human nature. A lot of guys want to prove that no, we have a good team. We have a good group. I love A&M. I love all that, and that's why our guys keep playing. The unity, like I say, there's no missed attendance on things and doing that. And it's all there. I mean, so. I'm not trying to say it, but some guys you sell them short about having pride to go do things and flip things around and do for themselves too. There's more merit in that than to run and jumping in greener pastures, because that shows who you are. You want to prove to the NFL you're a great player. You want to prove to the fans you're a great player. You want to prove to people, and when adversity hits and you flip it and do it, what does that do for your brand? What does that do for you as a player going to the league and the kind of guys that they would have and all those kind of things? There's a lot of that, and there's a lot more of that than I think we give kids credit for. You know what I'm saying? Kids have a lot more character than we think they do.
All right.
Were you also saying it's not always their choice as well?
No, I don't understand what you mean.
You said we cut players, but I think you were saying.
No, we cut players. We cut them. No. We cut players as far as they want to leave. I mean, we cut them short and make them short that they just because you didn't win they want to leave. No, we're not cutting players. We never cut players. I'm just saying I never have, never do.
Never renewed scholarship?
No, it wasn't medical. No, I don't say guys you got to leave. No, but guys that what I'm saying is you cut them short in who their character is, that they also mean because you lost some games, all of a sudden they want to pick up and leave. I'm going to no, we want to flip it around and be part of a championship. And to me, what builds you more than that? What builds you more than seeing that and knowing that is it far away? Can be, but it's also very close too. It's not like it's unreachable, like you say, that guys can go do that. Well, they can see they can stay right here and do it too. And I think our players believe that 100%.
All right, Coach. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.